What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus.
And I'm Ty.
What's going on, Ty? Glad to see you, man. Been a long week. How's your week been?
2 weeks in a row. This is a new record for me.
Exactly. You know, like I tell you all the time, man, the people miss you on the podcast, man. They love our little back and forth moments that we have, especially the classic one you had on the last episode. That was pretty good. I can't wait to see when that one hits the airways for people to see. But today is a special day because this is the last episode of season 2. Can you believe, bro? It's been 2 seasons already.
And I just thinking where we came from, doing it at the gym.
Oh my God.
Then to John's house and
Yes.
then your house
Yes.
and then here. So
I remember, I still
is that
watch
the first episode?
I still watch that first episode when the banner falls, bro.
Yeah.
And like all of our faces when we look and see, and we just like look at John, and we just look back at each other, and we just keep going.
Yeah.
Man, it's just it's been very special to have you a part of, and I thank you and John every single day, man, for making this possible. Because I mean, me and you, we talked I don't know how many months, about sports and just wanting to have our own place to do it and our own style of doing it, and like we've been able to each season get better and better and better.
Yeah.
And the people that are watching are enjoying what we're doing. And I think moving forward, and the little bit of changes we're going to make each season, the elevation and the evolution of the show is just getting better and better. But yeah, I remember them days at the gym, no internet, some days internet.
Yeah.
You
hear people running.
hear the noise in the background, people playing in the gym. So, and then like I said, going to my house in the living room, having issues with lights.
Yeah.
And then John was like, nah, we need to come to my house. We go to John's house. We got the nice little feel, and then come in here. So I'm just excited for moving forward. But yeah, season 3 is coming to you very soon. So y'all stay tuned. We're also going to have more information down in our description on, where you can actually start seeing us at, because I think we're going to really start making some power moves off the camera to help better the platform, and just continue to follow us. Like subscribe on YouTube. Definitely, like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook, and then follow us on all of our other social media, Instagram and TikTok and Twitter too as well. But man, like I said, to end season 2, I felt like we should really hone in on my guys' sport.
Yeah.
So the title of this episode is Football is Coming. And I know it's right around the corner. And there's been a lot of things going on with football, so I've been kind of holding back on this until you was able to come back on the pod.
We should have mini camp coming to us within the next 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Then first week of August usually kicks off the Hall of Fame game. I'm excited for it.
So we got about a month and a half. I think they said about 50 odd days until football is back in the swing of things.
Still too long. But
I
still settle for baseball.
Exactly. Yeah, baseball been pretty good right now, man. I'm not gonna lie. They've been doing, the College World Series was great with LSU.
Yes.
In Florida, that was a great series. And then, like I said, what baseball is doing right now is a lot of parity in the league right now. Cause a lot of teams that got these high payrolls, the New York Mets, the Padres, Boston, all these teams with these high payrolls, they're not looking as good as everybody was. The Dodgers, they're not. What's his name? Kershaw. Yeah. He hurt again. So it's like the parity in the league is good for baseball right now. Yeah. And hockey finished out pretty good too in the Stanley Cup. So like I said, we're gonna talk about football today. Excuse me. So I'm sure you saw the NFL has been really coming down on players when it comes to this gambling. And man, they really dropped an anvil on about what you would say about 20 different players this offseason. I mean, a lot of them got suspended for the season, and then a lot of them got suspended indefinitely, and then some of them got 6 games, 7 games. Yeah. So what do you think about what the NFL is trying to do when it comes to gambling? Because from my understanding is gambling is not a problem. It's where they're doing it and what they're doing it on is what the NFL is against. Their policies are against.
I was going to say, we all, especially me and you, I know we have a fantasy football league. Yeah. We put money in it and all that stuff. That's
gambling.
Technically gambling. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the same thing happens to 90% of the NFL leagues, players in the leagues right now, because it's what's hot.
Yeah,
or
it's just fun. It's fun.
FanDuel, freaking what's the other DraftKings? What is it? The Pick'ems and all that stuff.
Yahoo Sports. I mean, you got
everything nowadays can be made money off of.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe the thing is, how is the NFL benefiting pretty much? Yeah. Like if the NFL was to come out and be like, all right, put it under the table that, we're going to have a league where you can do that. Mm-hmm. They'll do it.
They'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, only, players only, coaches, anybody that works in the, what's called, we can start doing this and making it like this and blah, 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 but you can't bet on your team or you can't bet on yourself. Self per se. Yeah. But if the NFL came out with a way to do that, they'll do it. It's just like anything else in the world.
Yeah, because I think, too, a lot of people would say, it's the integrity of the game that can be tainted by the players, betting on their team, betting on somebody, in the game or their teammates. And, of course, just being in the facility, because that's like the NFL's biggest point. It's like, hey, man, you're doing it on our grounds and you're making money or trying to potentially make money off of our brand, off of the shield, and we got to protect the shield. Yeah. So we got to make examples of people. Now, I wondered if these examples that are being made of people is going to really steer people away, or people still going to take the risk of, of gambling. Because my thing is, if I'm a player and I see that list come out like I have, now, granted, they're not all big name players, but to me, they're in the league. Yeah. So to lose an opportunity on your financial earnings that you're going to miss out on now because you're not playing, because it's all unpaid leave. So you're not going to get paid during this duration of time you're missing. Benefits not going to be there for you. So as a player that's watching that, it's like, I might like the whole, the fun aspect of gambling and the competitive nature of it all, but I don't want to lose, my livelihood for a game that don't really matter in a sense. Because you're like, or what are you betting on that you have to win that money when you're already a multi-millionaire anywhere in the NFL.
That's what I said. I think if the NFL came out with a way to, do their own bet, like you said, you can't bet on yourself, you can't bet on your team. But if the NFL did that, that's money in their pocket.
And then here is the central or controlled environment that we want you to do it in through us.
It's through us, and it's going to be, nobody has to know about it.
Nobody has to know about it.
Everybody loves to gamble.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. It'd be like kind of a real exclusive club of all NFL players.
Like I said, not just NFL players, but just, NFL
coaches, staff, the NFL staff.
Anybody that works under the shield.
Yeah, I got you. So, that makes sense. But like I said, I agree with you. I'm sure, I know in basketball is being done. I know in soccer. I know in baseball. I mean, even Little League is being done. Little League kids are getting better.
It's crazy.
I've seen that live.
I don't know if you know what a board is. So a board, where I'm from, is basically like a diagram of like 100 squares. Okay. And pretty much at the top you have 1 through 0. Yep. I mean 1 through 9, 0 through 9. Yeah. And the same thing. You trying to match up your numbers and stuff like that. Yeah. And it was on a high school game.
Oh yeah.
That is.
We do it at my job. We do it when college football come around. We do a board, and we'll say, okay, it's a big matchup. Let's say it's Florida State versus Miami. And 1 through 9 on top, and then of course on the sides. And you put your name, your initials in this block, and you buy that block for this amount of money. Yeah. And then if you win that quarter, then you win all the money that was in that, in that pot for that quarter. But like I said, for a high school game, that's crazy.
I think that's crazy.
But that's what's going on. So and like I said, I've been at I'm talking about, these are 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds playing football, and the amount of money I've seen on the sideline at this little kids event, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But all right, so let's stay in the NFL, of course. It's the running back position in the NFL unappreciated.
For players
and then undervalued. For
players that's per running backs, when we don't have many of those anymore. Your per running back like Derrick Henry or Fred, Jonathan Taylor. Those are really like the only. You had Leonard Fournette.
What about Saquon Barkley?
I think he can do more.
Okay,
he can do more.
Okay,
but
Alvin Kamara, you think he can do more? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Or you can actually line them up and put them in a slot receiver, but I'm not.
Dalvin Cook, you feel like because he's a free agent right now.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what's struggling for him, is trying to find a home for a pure running back. But I think the pure running back position is starting to go away, sort of phase. It's like the center position.
Okay.
Like the same thing with the NBA centers.
So you thinking you have, like, in order to be more valuable and not be undervalued is you got to be more of a hybrid running back.
Because you got to think that a lot of teams is not, if they are throwing it down the field, it's rare. Yeah. But, you can do a quick little 2-yard dump off.
Kind of the dink and dump that everybody got on Tom Brady for. Yeah. Now I feel like the NFL is starting to transition to that because if you're not a high profile quarterback, that's what you're doing anyway. You're just dinking and dunking, trying to open up for maybe a down the field.
Exactly
option.
Like Zeke Elliott is not on the team right now because per running back. Yeah. At one point.
Well, also 2 injuries for him. I think that hurt him.
Well, yeah.
Injuries and then.
But you have somebody like Tony Pollard.
And they'll say the emergence of him. Yeah. It's like, well, we don't need you.
Tony Pollard's finna come off of something with his knee or ankle, some lower ligament injury, and you still not signed.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So they'll tell you.
Yeah. And then I know that Pollard signed he signed a franchise tag, so he'll make $10 million this year. Yeah. Which. That's another thing I want to ask you. So, is that to me or to you? Do you feel like that 10 mil? That is like where the running back, that's their bread and butter spot is the 10 million. Trying to get more than that is asking too much.
It depends on what type of player you are. Okay. But if you have like a Tony Pollard, that 10 mil is, to me, I feel like it's a little bit overvalued or too much. But Austin Eckler is going through the same thing, and he's not a traditional running back. I would say, he actually can play all three downs. Yeah. But I just see the NFL running back position finna not be obsolete, but it's finna be to a point where it's just, can you do more than just power through the line? Or I mean, I think it kind of went to that when you think about the Super Bowl with Seattle and the Patriots.
That's why I'm about to bring it up. Yeah, that's why I'm about to bring it up. And we're in shotgun on the 2-yard line. Yeah. We're in shotgun.
And we throw it.
And we got the at that time in the season, the best running back in the NFL.
His name is Beast Mode.
And he literally got you to the 2-yard line. Yes. It'd be different like, okay, we passed to the 2-yard line. No, he ran 3 plays prior to that and got you to the 2-yard line, and your first play after that miraculous run is to throw a shotgun pass, a quick slant on a 2-yard line with all that traffic because you wanted, whatever the reason, whether you wanted Russell Wilson to be the reason why y'all win or say you had a high power offense, I don't know. But like I said, that was my first sign of knowing that the running back is finna go out the door. Yeah. And then tight ends too, because it's only like a couple tight ends still remaining that's making that position worthwhile too.
I think hand in the ground tight end is gonna be obsolete. Exactly. But you're gonna still have a tight end
like a slot tight end.
Yeah. Like
that's what Kelsey did. He's more of a slot tight end more than a 3 fingers or 4 fingers in the ground. Yeah. Rob Gronkowski type tight end where I'm off the line get my route. No, it's like I'm already standing up, ready to go. I can get this quick out.
But you also got to look now, we see a lot of teams, instead of putting tight ends in, they putting an extra tackle on the line or blocking.
And making him an available passer too, a catcher too as well, a receiver, I mean.
Yeah, a tight end is really not a tight end. It's rare that you see a tight end that can still do catching, blocking, or whatever you need him to do.
I got you. Okay. All right. Let's transition to question of successful career. And I want to compare these two because these two are, talked about as being the GOATs of their sport. Okay? Mm-hmm. So the two I have is LeBron James and Tom Brady. So my question to you is, who has had the more successful career?
I'm going Tom. 7 rings.
7 rings? Okay.
In the NFL, that's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
7 rings in the NFL.
Well, not only just that, you got 7 rings, and then, passing yards, touchdowns, completion percentage, and then to do it as of course, undrafted, last round, my almost undrafted player, basically, to come in and just basically flip the NFL upside down for over 20 years and then really win with, names you didn't even know were names until they played with Tom Brady, except for Randy Moss and a couple other players. But for him to do what he did, to me, he's had the more successful career.
And I'm gonna say this. I feel like these two athletes is gonna be that's it for these athletes. Like their work ethic, their mentality, their will to win, everything. I think that's we're done. Like this is going to be the last era of that.
Because, that type of player, yeah.
That type of player where it's like win or nothing.
Yeah. Because I feel like Kobe with his passing, and shout out to Kobe Bryant as always. And I see NBA 2K24. He's gonna be on the cover, which I'm happy about that for him and his family. That's big. Yeah. But yeah, like Kobe was one of those. Like he was talking about, like that Michael Jordan, that type of mentality. Like I said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to win. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say like there's not kids out there that wants to win like that. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, but I think the high level of play that they performed at every week and everything else, and
what they gave to the game,
what they gave to the game, they don't show nothing, but they just show hard work every day,
and staying out the way, too, from getting caught up in anything off the field that
besides
can hurt.
The flake gate, but
man, here you go that again. That man ain't do nothing wrong, man. He gonna get off TB. He didn't do nothing wrong, man. Okay. He didn't break no rules, man. He didn't break no rules.
You got it. Okay.
Leave Tom Brady alone. He didn't break no rules. Now we were doing good. Tom Brady didn't break no rules. Leave him alone now. Anyway, I mean this is what they did for the game. As for on the field, off the field, businessmen, family men. Yeah. I think they've been great examples for a lot of players. I just think, like you said, the next generation coming up, I don't know if we see that same type of, attitude that we've seen out of them. But I mean, don't get me wrong, LeBron James he's so far had an amazing career. I think his career is going to end, like I said, next couple of years because he's waiting on Bronny to come. After that, I think it's time he can finally hang the shoes up and go on and do whatever else he want to do. Yeah. But like I say, if we're going off of just impact, winning, accolades, all that, I got to go Tom Brady for sure. All right, so I had posted this on Instagram, and it went mini viral. It didn't go viral like my Kobe Bryant video did, but it went mini viral. And the question I posed was, does coaches matter to players' greatness? What do you think? Does coaching or a coach matter to a player's greatness?
I would say yeah.
Why?
Because you got to think, like, even like when some of the other, like when some players win, they even go back to their days of, playing wherever and be like, I want to thank this coach for putting the ball in my hand or whatever they want to do. Or, what would Kobe be without the triangle offense? Phil Jackson. What would Michael Jordan be without the triangle offense? What would Tom Brady be without Bill Belichick? What would, just different players be without their coach or that person that helped them get there? What would Tiger Woods be without his caddy? Like, et cetera. So I think coaching matters, and I think definitely just depends on the system too. Steph Curry, he didn't win his championship until Steve Kerr got him there.
Because Mark Jackson
got him there.
But Steve Kerr actually
put him above it.
And
so I
have him break through the door.
Yeah, and I would say the same. Just Dwayne Wade.
With Pat Riley. Pat and Riley. Spoelstra too. I think it was a combo of Pat Riley and Spoelstra with Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. So I would definitely say it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I think so too. I think because the coach has to recognize that greatness within that player and be able to bring it out of him, whether that's be like you say with the style of play or the ability to speak into him to where he gets the most out of him. Yeah. Because without that, like you said, we look at a lot of teams or a lot of players that's played for bad coaches and bad situations. Now they were great, but they never reach their max potential because of them having to deal with dysfunction with their coaching staff or dysfunction with the organization or just dysfunction off the floor too as well. But with the great ones, you notice they all have a player that was like attached to them. Yeah, like you said, Michael with Phil, Kobe with Phil, Shaq with Phil, Shaq with Pat Riley. Like you look at those names and they all had one player that just was glued and submitted to their legacy as a great coach because the winning came from being that coach of that player. Yeah. So I think that too as well.
I feel like it's rare that you would see like a coach not get recognized for winning because that player was just so good. Like Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich. Like I said, you can rattle off names and everything, but
I think every Hall of Famer or great player in this game, you can look back at some point, even like Allen Iverson with Hubie Brown. At some point in their career, they had a great coach. Now, the situation might not have been great, the system might not have been great, but they had a coach that if you ask them, they would tell you he changed my life.
Yeah.
So I think that's what is not only career changing but life changing too as well. All right, so let's talk about athletes for a second. Who's a better athlete, a football player or a basketball player?
That's hard. I think that's hard. I can't say.
You can't say?
Yeah, I can't say.
Can't answer that question?
I don't want to.
Tell the people something, man.
Yeah, because I feel like if I give you my answer, you're gonna think I'm about crazy.
I might agree with you. Come on, man. Give the people something.
I don't know. I would say football is more athletic than basketball.
Okay. Why would you say that? Why would you go football? I know you're a football fanatic, but why would you say a football player is more athletic?
Because you got people. Player? Okay, like I'm gonna use one. Julius Peppers.
Okay.
Played
football and basketball,
and he was a lineman. Like what 280?
Yeah.
Playing basketball. I don't see Victor want whoever he want to be go out there. Yeah, I don't see him lining up at wide receiver.
Okay.
So
I agree
when it comes to stuff like that.
So you're basing it off of because that athlete can transition to dual sports.
Yes.
More than a basketball
player. But anybody
player.
can transfer dual sports, but I don't see more people
going basketball, football. You see more people going football to other sports.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I agree with you. I think a football player is the better athlete just because of, for one, the weight training, the body training that they go through, the nutrition that they go through. And don't get me wrong, I play basketball. Basketball players are in great shape.
Yeah.
Their nutrition is good too as well. They take care of themselves, and there's a lot of skill development that has to happen for a basketball player.
Yes.
But I think if we're talking about, like, say, just sheer athleticism, sheer, like, God gift abilities, I feel like football players display that more because they can transition to track and be some of the fastest people you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tyreek Hill, go out there and run on the track and just blow people away. And these folks do that for a living.
Yeah.
But then
it's also like we've sat here and talked to, Buchanan. And he said, I think I asked him, do we do another sport? He's like, nah, just basketball.
Yeah.
But NFL or
football players,
football, they encourage, hey, go play track.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, go play track.
Yeah.
Or lineman, hey, go do shot put or weightlifting or something
go play baseball.
Yeah.
Because I think the football mindset is any other sport that can help you with hand-eye coordination, can help you with your lateral quickness, that can help you with your jumping. A lot of people that do track, that play football, they do long jumps.
Yeah.
And they do the hurdles, so that helps them with their ability to hurdle over things. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, when you break down that athlete, I just feel like they're being more prepared for so many different things. And then, like I say, you see them do it in so many, like even like when you watch a 300-pound lineman do a backflip.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or they're able to jump and do the stuff they're doing. Or like I said, when I'm watching somebody like a Derrick Henry, 250 pounds running full speed and it can hurdle over a man that's jumping at them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just a different level. I was telling one of my boys, that's a different human that we're looking at. It's a different human.
I'm not running up with that human.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, but with basketball player, I feel like we see, the standouts, LeBrons, the Giannis's, but like when you look at football, to see all of that on a football field every single Sunday or Thursday or whatever they're playing, and to go through all that banging and bruising that they have to deal with on a regular basis, and still got to perform day in, day out. I just think, like I said, that's just a different type of athlete. So I would definitely give them that. I think basketball players are great athletes as well, along with any professional sport.
Yeah.
But I just think football, to me, they just above beyond that.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
And comment down below, let us know what y'all thought, when it comes to, who's the better athlete, football or basketball players. All right, so now I'm going to test your go ahead.
Who do you think is the best two-sport athlete?
The best, Bo Jackson.
Okay.
Man, no, that's easy.
I could
Bo Jackson.
say Bo Dion.
Nah, it's Bo, man.
Okay.
Bo Jackson. I like that, John. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't think two people would agree with that. It might playing baseball hurt his legacy for a while. That's why he had to come back. But he was a good golfer. I will give him that. He's a good golfer.
Still is, probably.
He's still a great golfer. I will give him that. But definitely Bo Jackson. But yeah, Dion's right behind that. Yeah. Dion, he did his thing in baseball too. And I was talking about he was doing it at the same time, playing football and like basketball at the same, football, baseball at the same time. All right, so now I'm gonna test your archive of of history of sports. So this question I got for you, in your mind, I don't care what sport it is, what was the greatest sequence in sports sports history you've ever seen?
When you say sequence, I didn't. What do you mean?
Like this, this happened, and then after this happened, this greatness happened right behind it because of him doing that or her doing that, or whatever. I'll give you my answer, and then you kind of flow.
Okay.
Off that. All right. So to me, the greatest sequence in sports history was them last 2.5 minutes of Game 6 with Michael Jordan versus Utah Jazz.
Okay.
When he comes down, gets a big bucket, okay, against Brian Russell, and then he comes down and he steals the ball from Karl Malone.
Okay.
And then he comes down and he makes the game winner, and just that lasting image of him making the game winner from the crossover to the pose until you just knowing that it's over, and number 6 ring.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about, sequence, like sequence of events that happened that just was the best thing that you've ever seen in sports history.
I'm going to throw you for a loop on this one.
Okay.
When Boston won that championship and they had to play the New York Yankees in the conference championship.
Okay.
I think they was down 3-0. Came back and won.
Yep. That was one. That was on my list too.
Ended up.
I didn't. The only reason I didn't pick it because it was against my Yankees. The only reason I did not pick it.
And they ended up coming back and winning.
That's exactly why. That's why I didn't pick it. Another example you could have used. You could have used the LeBron James chase down block in the finals.
Yeah. Okay.
That sequence led to Kyrie getting the opportunity to win the game with the sidestep 3 against Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So it's just,
it's a lot. You could have go to the Giants and
the helmet catch. Yeah.
You go to that
sequence.
You go to Tiger Woods, the famous. It's just so much sequence.
And Julius Edelman in the Super Bowl, the thigh catch when he caught the ball with his thighs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's so many different ones, but that to me, the iconicness of the Michael Jordan final shot, because that was his final shot, and it's the end of his prime, 6 rings, 3 three-peats in Utah's home court. And then you look at like the images of the people's faces when he shot that shot, and like everybody knew like it was going in. So
I did watch one sequence, but this is the other thing.
Okay.
It's this guy he talked about, I think it was on a TV show, and he talked about, I don't know if you remember when the Cubs played in the
World Series?
Not the World Series, but it was a championship.
Okay.
And the dude catches the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He said if you go back to that, it's something that happened where I guess the ball got hit to the shortstop and it got overthrown. And it's in the TV show too. If you watch TV shows, watch The Bear. It's good. It's on Hulu. But he talks about it, and he says people don't think about what happened right then. They only know the main thing. Dude catches the ball out of the hands. He was like, no, if it was 2 outs, and if the ball wouldn't have went over the first baseman head or whatever happened, they would have got off the field, and everything else would have been a whole change.
That wasn't the reason why they lost the game, but that lasting image of seeing him do that, everybody blamed him for the loss.
Because I think when that happened, when he overthrew the pitch or whatever, I think they scored so many runs and tied the game up, and then that happened as well. But if he would have got the 3rd out, they wouldn't have scored all these runs, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, you don't think about what happens, in that moment, what happens right there. You only think about, like you said, the lasting image. Yeah, absolutely. So, I agree with you. But that's why I said when I was making this, forming this question, I was like, man, it's just so many different ones. But I just try to me, think of the one that had the most lasting impact and just, like you say, was, a very GOAT type moment. And I think that's what that was. Yeah. I mean, you could go Shaq and Kobe when they do the oop
against Portland.
And
that was a good
Game 7. I
think. And like I said, before that defensive stop they had to even get to the alley-oop. So it's like those different moments. You can go on and on. I mean, you can go to NASCAR, you can go to golf, you can go to baseball, you can go to tennis, you can go to hockey. I mean, it's so many different moments.
Let us know your favorite one.
Favorite one down below too as well. All right, so 2 more and then we out of here, man. So I know this is not talked about a lot, but I want to kind of bring it to the front, and then I think we can also dive into this conversation a little bit deeper, which will come in later, in season 3. So stay tuned. But let's talk about the life of a second tier athlete. And what I mean by second tier, I'm talking about that athlete that isn't in the, in the news, isn't the franchise guy, isn't the one that everybody's looking at to, bring a championship to the city. I'm talking about the guy that's like, okay, yeah, he's got a decent contract, but he's not looked upon as to be the reason why they are winning, or even you can go even deeper saying the second tier athlete is the guy that is on the 15th man on the bench.
The Scottie Pippens of the world.
Yeah, the Scottie Pippen Juniors of the world. Like, or my dad was a Hall of Famer and now I got in the league, but I'm having to try to make a name for myself, but I'm not getting any opportunity.
Yeah.
So what do you think the life for that type of athlete's like?
I think it just depends on who it is. And of course you're gonna have to work harder because you're falling in this person's footsteps, whether you're the second athlete or you're Michael Jordan Jr. or Scottie Pippen Jr. Bronny got the weight on his shoulders while Bryce over here just hooping.
Yeah.
Bryce over here just hooping, but Bronny's like, I'm pretty sure he probably feels like I gotta make it
because I'm gonna be the first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be the first one out of the kids with an opportunity to play with dad. Yeah. So there's a lot of pressure on him.
But you got people like King Griffey Jr. His dad was in MLB and did very well. But people know Junior more than they know Senior. So it's a toll. Like you said, it's just your work ethic, who you want to be as a person. And, if you want greatness, you can achieve greatness. You just got to work for it.
Yeah. I think, for a second tier, athlete, it can be very tough because, like you say, you're not getting the recognition. You're not getting opportunity. You're not making of course, you're not even making nowhere near close what your top tier players are making. So, that's an impact on your mental. And, of course, like I said, you're going in here, you're putting all this work in every single day.
But you got people like, Chris Middleton. He's getting dollars still because he's a second tier player. I heard Richard Jefferson say when Jeremy Grant signed his contract for Portland, he just sat back and got 160. Easy just sat back and got 160 because he's a second option on that team. Like now that Dame's finna leave, he's finna become first option. And he's just sitting back making 160.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and it just really just depends on who you are and
your ability to get through that grind.
Yeah,
because it is a grind, regardless. Because even the ones that are the top tier, like I said, the now Jeremy Grant, he gonna move into that top tier. Top tier money, he's already there, but then top tier position on his team. That's a lot to stay in that spot too. It's a lot to come in every single day and have to try to live up to all these expectations. Personally, and then of course as a franchise on top of you when it comes to, hey, it's all on you. We need you to take us to the promised land.
Yes.
We're not gonna keep spending all this money on people. We need you to, help us get to the next level, and then we'll spend more money. So I think it's a lot of pressure from both ends. But yeah, we'll dive more into that. Cause I think it's and then of course as we bring more people onto the podcast that can kind of really dabble into that. Because I know a lot of guys that's going through that stuff right now, trying to even make it to that, NBA or the NFL or stuff like that. So I would say like, you're in that second tier athlete because it's like you're a pro, but you're just not a pro for that level just yet. So you're trying to develop and get to that point to be that pro.
The hardest thing too is like people that's in high school as well. Like you got a person that's going D1, but you just as good, put in just as much work. But you going to a D2 school, so it's just also how you work when you get to the D2 school or whatever you do.
It's not. I tell young guys all the time that I talk to, it's not over. You just want to make it and have an opportunity. But now that you had the opportunity, is what you do with it. That's going to show your will.
Yeah.
So all right. So last thing I got for you, man, before we get out of here, this one it's kind of a weird question, but I think we can get through it. Which star athlete, I don't care what sport, creates the biggest fireworks across sports, would you say?
What do you mean
create fireworks? Like, okay, like when you see this star athlete play, it's like it's always something amazing that's happening, something that you've never seen before in that sport.
I'm gonna go Shohei. Otani.
Yeah, I like that one. It was between Shohei and it was
This is right now for me.
Yeah, right now. Okay, yeah. It was between Shohei and then Pat Mahomes for me.
Okay.
Because what Pat Mahomes does on the football field is it's ridiculous, man. Yeah. It's ridiculous, and to do it in a body frame that's not your normal quarterback ideal frame, and be able to do that. Yeah, but Shohei was number one for me too.
Yeah. I would say Shohei because what he just did in the what he just did in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
Striking out pretty much who is the number one player in baseball.
Yeah.
And he's your teammate.
Yeah.
It gets no better than that.
And then to come from the World Games to go into the season now, lead the league in home runs with 30+ home runs.
He's lead them in every statistics of batting.
Yeah, except batting. That's it.
Yeah.
And
he's lead them in everything, even bat. Like
you're talking about across the board. Yeah,
across the board, lead them.
That's what I'm saying. So for him to come in and be a pitcher, but also a powerhouse hitter, and like be top in the league on both sides. Yeah, man, ain't nothing like that, man. That's a different type of human.
Yeah,
like ain't nothing like that for him to be able to do that. And it's just crazy to see how good he is and how he's able to do that. Like you say, throw the ball 95 miles an hour, but then knock the ball 460 feet in the air. And then like I say, playing against who everybody says is the best baseball player in the world, you outshining him. I mean, I want to say Mike Trout might have 19 home runs.
Yeah.
And
Shohei's like hit 32. Yeah, ridiculous.
That's like the closest person to him is Mike Trout. I want to say everybody else. Because even Aaron Judge, I think Aaron Judge only got like 15, 16, but he's been hurt too.
Yeah, so.
But nobody else is really touching him when it comes to the home run. So, but man, I want to thank you again, Ty. As always, we want to thank y'all for watching. As always, too, make sure you comment down below. Let us know what you thought about today's topics. Make sure you follow us on all our social medias, that are listed down below. Like us, follow us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, subscribe.
Come on
YouTube.
with it. Usually you got it, and I'm bouncing with you, but I don't know what you got going on.
You know what I'm saying? Like us.
Tear up for season 2,
hey,
man.
Listen, man. I'm so serious. Like it's been a journey, man. Getting to this point, and I'm just excited, for season 3. I'm excited that we've made it this far. I can't wait to see, what the platform has to come, in the future. But make sure you like I say, follow us, like us, subscribe to us, share us, all of our social media platforms. And man, as always, want to thank y'all for watching. This is the end of season 2. Season 3 is coming. So we'll see y'all on season 3, man. Until then, peace.